David Claypool, and thank you for visiting my SD-WAN video today. I've actually wanted to make this video since about over a year ago, really since 2016, when I started working with TPX and I started to study and comprehend the VeloCloud software. The SD-WAN software today, I think, offers a dramatic shift in WAN technology, and that's why I'm excited about making this video today. On a personal note, I've been in telecommunications for 25 plus years. I've been involved in hundreds and hundreds of implementations of many different products. If you need any more information about me, please check out my LinkedIn account, and there's some other technology articles on there. For the purposes of this video, we're going to go ahead and move into the presentation stage. So stay with me and we'll do a little deep dive into SD-WAN technology. Thank you. Okay, before we go into this brief presentation, I wanted to review why SD-WAN is important, why it's here. And there's two main convergence areas. One is, unfortunately, for an old telco guy like myself, the cable companies won the battle for low-cost, high-speed bandwidth. I talk to people all the time. I just talked to a guy out of California, a sales rep, said on Cox you got like 300 meg by 80 meg for $250 a month. So we've got ubiquitous, inexpensive bandwidth from the cable companies, and at the same time, customers started moving their servers to the cloud. Everything was moving to the cloud. So it's kind of a dramatic shift where when we get to this slide, we'll see that the traditional MPLS or closed network, where each individual branch is sending packets back to a main server farm, that's kind of fallen to the wayside. So let's look at that real quick. A traditional MPLS, which I've sold many times over the years, with a single internet connection and a data center firewall. So you've got these sites over here. They are on an MPLS circuit. They hit a firewall at the data center, and then you've got the various servers that they talk to. All branches are backhauled to the corporate data center regardless of traffic type. The key points here as we move forward is, it is a best practice design with single firewall to manage. You could have split tunnels or just one tunnel. MPLS is not very agile for installation. If you've ever installed MPLS service for your customers, you will know that. Timelines are especially difficult to nail down, especially with cloud platforms. The other thing that we forget, MPLS is not encrypted. It is really plain text. You're basically trusting your carrier and your MPLS tags to segment your traffic. In today's hyper world of government-sponsored hacking, so to speak, encryption becomes even more important. MPLS is not as flexible or ubiquitous as we discussed previously compared to the cable services. Next slide, please. This is basically the VeloCloud Edge device. It's basically a router on steroids. And how the VeloCloud software works is it's very cool. So what the software does, it does talk to a gateway. Your provider must have gateways for this to work. So be careful selecting your provider. There is an orchestrator that actually sends the configuration information to the edge device. So the edge device basically does one thing very fast. It measures jitter, latency, and packet loss on every single packet for every single request, no matter how many WAN circuits you have in there. So the algorithm in the VeloCloud software, you pretty much let that device manage sub-second failover between two WAN circuits, sub-second failover to 4G, moving packets around based on these metrics of packet loss, latency, and jitter. Just let the algorithm do its job. It does it very fast, very well. You run your LAN topology, you run your applications, and you let the box do its magic. So, in other words, for installation, you plug the edge device in, let it boot up, grab its configuration from the cloud, and then just let the box do what it does best. Next slide, please. This is kind of a crowded picture, but I do like it. We looked at the MPLS design. This is going to look a little bit more complicated, but that's how the SD-WAN software comes in. So if you had 4 branches and you had a data center with these SD-WAN devices, you can actually build IPsec tunnels, secure IPsec tunnels for any kind of server that has to go to the data center. So you can build the tunnels, they will support tunnels, but in this particular design we have actually 2 different ISPs, inexpensive cable services. We've got a 4G failover, so we've got 3 circuits available in the box. We also have some firewalls added on here. So basically your cloud applications like Office 365, which are HTTPS anyway, you can take those direct while sending server domain controller requests back to the corporate data center. 3 connections, your Office 365, again, that's SSL traffic. So you have a lot of flexibility in your design for your branch offices. So as a review, we've got 3 total connections in each device. We've got IPsec VPNs to the data center. Cloud apps go direct because of transport layer security. And then we've got FACT for VoIP. FACT is very, very important. You have to have a gateway to do it. I want to go over FACT real quick. FACT would be for voice or unified communications as a service. Forward error correction, you can look it up on Wikipedia, is a way to duplicate UDP packets, voice or video, assuming there might be packet loss downstream on these ubiquitous and synchronous cable connections. They do have packet loss, sometimes those circuits are noisy. Forward error correction, once again, can improve voice, the voice quality of scoring, let's say, by up to 400 to 500% by using FACT, which once again duplicates UDP packets, assuming that there's going to be some packet loss downstream. Next slide, please. This is just a review. Once again, the beautiful thing about SD-WAN is bring your own bandwidth. I don't need to sell you bandwidth. You can bring your own bandwidth. We plug it into the box. It integrates with everyone, double your bandwidth because we're doing active-active continuity, intelligent packet spray. It makes all networks better. Inbound failover between different WAN links is important. I'll get back to that later. You've got business policy mapping, so you can basically say, hey, I want web surfing to be class of service 4 default. I want all my Microsoft traffic to be class of service 2. I want to prioritize this application over this application. You can really get as granular as you need to with the SD-WAN software. So once again, plug and play your way to a better WAN provisioning experience. Inbound failover is a way to get virtual IP addresses from your carrier. Very neat trick. And they are routable in a BGP global network. These virtual IP addresses actually can give you inbound failover between 2 different circuits. Next slide, please. Technical notes briefly. SD-WAN needs carrier gateways to perform FACT and inbound failover. Your edge device should be assigned to multiple gateways. Gateways should be tightly integrated with the carrier's peering points. Service provisioning is based on the cloud-based orchestrator. Any application as discussed can use QoS and or business policy mapping. One slightly down point for SD-WAN technology. IPsec tunnels, with SD-WAN in fact does have overhead of 10-12%, but that's normal if you understand IPsec does encryption and encapsulation. Security and firewalls, very important. In a time of government-sponsored hacking, it's very, very important for all businesses to have a unified threat management platform on their firewall. That's IDS, IPS, web content filtering, IP address blocking, antivirus, anti-spam. It's very, very important today. The SD-WAN devices right now, they're a stateful firewall, but they don't have the UTM features, but that's coming and coming soon, and it might already be here through VMware. So security and firewalls are important. You could do a network-based firewall if you had 20 sites, defer that default traffic to the network-based firewall for filtering, but similar to Zscaler. Or have your service provider provision the network-based firewall and avoid UTM firewalls at the branches. Or, which is coming today and available, use a virtual image of Palo Alto FortiGate at your branch offices, and then you'll have the beauty of the SD-WAN routing, the SD-WAN technology, and a full-figured force of a unified threat management, full-featured firewall. Next slide, please. Once again, I predicted back in 2017 that prices would go up for this, and they actually have. The price points for this technology are very, very low. You can get an entry-level SD-WAN device for less than $6 a day right now. That's probably going to change in the future. This is the type of technology that I think it was priced too low when it came out, and it's actually going to go up in price. If you're a single-site customer, you can use the forward error correction part of it for your UCaaS and voice. You don't have to have multiple sites. A single site can certainly tunnel to the gateway, and we can do forward error correction to make that, unified communications as a service type products. Any kind of VoIP traffic, a single site, we can help with that as well. All businesses everywhere should be taking advantage of this technology. The price points are fantastic. Talk to your vendor today. Talk to your carrier today. SD-WAN's here to stay. Take advantage of it. It's very, very inexpensive. Thank you for listening, and we'll see you out there in the SD-WAN world.